Hello, I'm Marianne from Off of Coventry, and I want to talk to you about parasocial being the word of 2025. And that is, of course, the idea that we think we are kind of friends with people who we don't know. It's a one-sided relationship. And for me, one of my parasocial relationships is with Scott Mills and the Radio 2 breakfast show. I went to text them the other day and I genuinely looked for Scott in my mobile phone, and that made me think, Marianne, I think you think you're friends with him. He's not your friend. He doesn't know who you are. But actually it's feeling part of a community, feeling part of something. And actually this can be really, really helpful and really supportive of people's mental health. You know, in my household, we love listening to the easiest quiz on the radio in the morning. That's a really lovely kind of part of our day before my eldest goes off to school. And yet it's that feeling part of a collective, feeling like someone who is regularly there, part of the fabric of your day. And it feels like a two-way relationship, even when it isn't. And I think that is the power of parasocial relationships. Certainly in this day and age where we can feel a little bit more disconnected from others. And speaking as a psychologist, you know, Scott Mills and his breakfast show gets mentioned more often than you might think. So obviously if you're working with someone that's got depression, it can be really hard to get out of bed and people can feel disconnected from things. But also when I'm working with people clinically, we'll often do a little bit of a joy audit. Where are they getting even small pockets of enjoyment from? And more often than you might think, Scott Mills' breakfast show or something else that's happened on Radio 2 is mentioned as raising a smile, which can be so beneficial for our mental health. I would love to know more about you and your parasocial relationships. And if you haven't yet given Radio 2 Scott Mills Breakfast Show a listen, I think you should, because he might just be your new best friend, even if it might be a little bit one-sided. But he's coming up to a year of being on the breakfast show, and I have loved every show. So well done to Scott and the team. And yeah, parasocial, the word of 2025. Okay, I love you. Bye.